we're going to talk about the pre-writing step for a narrative essay. So let's check out what our prompt is. So remember, our steps of writing, our first writing is pre-writing, but before that we need to read the prompt. So here is the prompt for our narrative essay. Write a 600 to 800 word account of one of these firsts. So you're going to pick one of this list. Your first serious argument with your parents, your first experience with physical violence or danger, your first extended stay away from home, your first encounter with someone whose culture was very different from your own, or your first experience with the serious death of a close friend or relative. Okay, so I'm going to model this pre-writing for you, and you can see what I am going to do. I am going to choose for my model essay my first extended stay away from home. Very on brand. I'm going to talk about college. Okay, so I told you in the writing process video that what I like to do is create a list when I'm doing my pre-writing or brainstorming. So I'm just going to start writing everything that comes to my mind when I think about my first extended stay away from home, which was college. Okay, so I've got college. I went to Baylor. I stayed in Collins dorm. Sorry, I have a list over here, so I'm looking back and forth at it. I went to Waco. I didn't know it, right? I didn't know the city of Waco. Never really spent any time there before. I had no car. It was my second time on campus. I moved in. I was excited. Lots of new friends and experiences. Not sad. Didn't spend time thinking about people. Missed family. Boyfriend I just broken up with. My parents dropped me off after setting up my schedule. Setting up my dorm room. Buying books and groceries. I may be thinking, hey, you have really nice parents, and that is sure true. Okay, and I've thought a little bit more about this, but what are some things that stand out to me, right? Or that I was really excited, that I met new friends, that I wasn't sad, and really, we want our essays to not to have a higher purpose or a lesson, right, that we want people to know, right? Not just, hey, this is a list of details of my first experience, but what does that teach me or somebody else, or what did I learn from this, or kind of, what's the next level of that? And when I look at this list, y'all, it just feels like how I do everything new, right? So, like excited about new stuff. Oops. Not sad about leaving old stuff. Not that my family's old, but whatever. And jump right in. And this is how I do every new project of my whole life. This is just how my personality is, what I like to do. When I'm starting a new thing, I get very excited about it. I'm like level 10 talking to everybody about it. I'm not talking at all about the old things or the way it used to be or what I liked about it before. Like, no, none of that stuff. It's all just level 10 excitement about things. And I jump right in. Almost every new project that I have done since my husband and I got married, the same guy that I broke up with right before I went to college, got back together, And now we've been married for 11 years, which is awesome. But anyway, it is like, he'll say, why can't you just, stop and think about how much is this going to cost in money or time or effort or anything? I count no cost. I jump right in. I get very excited and I totally forget about how I used to do it, how it used to be, anything related to that. Okay, so that's going to be my thesis, basically, is that this is a pattern in my life, right? This was the first time that I saw this in a big way in my life, but this is how I do new things. Okay, so I'm going to reiterate the question that I'm answering in the prompt, which is my first extended stay away from home was a clear example of how I handle any new project, which is to highlight positive, downplay the negative. I'll correct it there. And jump in with both feet. Okay. So that is what I'm going to use as my tentative thesis for this essay. Notice that I've referenced what I'm answering in the prompt, my first extended stay away from home, and I'm talking about 3 points related to that. I want to see 3 points in your essays, right? So you have an easier way to organize your outline and a little bit. And it talks not only about how I did this project, but what's my takeaway here? What's my lesson? Well, actually, this is just a picture of how I do everything. So that is how I did my pre-writing for this essay, and an example of how you could do it for yours. Again, pre-writing is really flexible. It can look at like a bunch of different ways. This is just how I like to do it. You can pre-write or create a concept map if you're more visual. You can come up with some pictures, whatever. But this is how I like to do it, so I just was showing that to you. So good luck as you get started. Can't wait to read those thesis statements.